Dumfries Galloway in southwest Scotland holds many ancient sites such as the iconic Cairn Holy and the largest stone circle on mainland Scotland, the 12 Apostles. This documentary visits the best known and little known stone circles, standing stones and rock art which our ancient ancestors from the Neolithic and Bronze Age left behind from up to 5,000 years ago. This documentary starts off at the east side of Dumfries Galloway and works its way over to the west side and finishes just before the Ayrshire border at Cairnderry Chambered Cairn. This is a documentary by Before Caledonia which explores Scotland's ancient sites. The Loupin Stains and Girdle Stains stone circles near Estelmuir. The Loupin Stains. The enigmatic Loupin Stains and Girdle Stains stone circles are located beside the White Esk River. These two ancient rings were erected by our ancient ancestors. They are 550 metres apart but not visible from each other. The Loupin Stains is a small ring with two large entrance stones. The word Loupin in Scottish means to jump over and Stains translates as stones. The main feature is the twin entrance megaliths at around 1.5 metres high on a west-southwest orientation. A further 10 much smaller and unevenly spaced boulders complete a 12-stone, 10-metre diameter ring. Perhaps the ancient architects chose the number 12 to represent the 12-month year. The original function of the circle will never be known, but a few theories are a cosmic observatory, a multifunctional space for life events such as birth, death, marriage and coming of age. The solstices and equinoxes may have been witnessed and celebrated from inside the circle. Scottish archaeoastronomer Professor Alexander Thom, well known for the megalithic guard, measured the Loupin Stains and found a type A flattened circle. Aubrey Burrows stated between the pillars appeared to indicate sunset in early November or late January, which suggests the Celtic festivals of Samhain and Imbolc. These are cross-quarter days between the solstices and equinoxes. The Loupin Stains is similar in design to Fascali stone circle in Pitlochry. A personal theory is the Loupin Stains may be the male circle with the phallic-like entrance stones. The close-by Girdle Stains could be the female site with its close connection to the water of the White Esk River and the shape of the half-circle perhaps symbolic of the crescent moon. A processional stone avenue may have existed between the Loupin Stains and Girdle Stains. Evidence for this is sparse. Random boulders can be found between the circles. In Caroline Hoare and Gary Balcliffe's excellent book, The Spine of Albion, the female dragon current Ellen flows through the Loupin Stains and Girdle Stains. This line goes from southern England to northern Scotland and passes through many magical, ancient and religious sites. The Girdle Stains. The peculiar Girdle Stain stone circle is likely a remnant of the Neolithic culture of circa 5,000 years ago. This site with its 40-metre diameter is much larger than the Loupin Stains. The Girdle Stains is unique and only half a circle survives. It is thought the White Esk River has changed course over thousands of years and taken with it the western portion of the ring. Is it possible our ancient ancestors only constructed half a circle, or could the Loupin stains have been constructed after half the Girdle stains was washed away? In our present day, roughly 26 boulders make up a semicircle. It is thought up to 45 stones would have completed the ring. A possible entrance is situated at the southeast arc, with the highest stone at the north arc. The half-circle arrangement is very rare, however, another semi-ring can be found on the Isle of Lewis at Bernera Bridge, known as Callanish 8. This site is also located next to the water. Perhaps water spirits were important to the ancient people. The female dragon current Ellen passes through the site. Directly next to the stones is the water of the White Esk River. Water is an element associated with the female. The half-circle shape perhaps represents the first or third quarter moon phase. Could these three elements suggest the site being female? A geophysical survey was carried out by GeoQuest in November 1993. The results indicate several pits within the enclosure, with further pits along the line of the ring. It is thought the name Girdle comes from a cooking utensil or flat rounded surface. The local vicinity is very interesting, with an archaeological trail of forts, settlements and King Shaw's grave. The circles have public access and are situated near the small village of Estomure on the B709 road and 15 miles northeast of Lockerbie. Also close by is the well-known Sami Ling Tibetan Centre. A small car park is provided close to the Loupin stains with an information board on both circles. Here we can enjoy visiting two ancient stone rings in a beautiful and peaceful setting. The 12 Apostles Stone Circle, near Dumfries. The 12 Apostles is the largest stone circle in mainland Scotland and one of the biggest in the UK. This huge 90-metre diameter ring is considered to originate from between 3000 BC to 1500 BC. This makes the site late Neolithic or Bronze Age. Scotland's largest megalithic circle is the Ring of Brodgar on the Isle of Orkney. 11 megaliths remain, with 5 now recumbent. A plan from 1789 shows 12 boulders. It is thought there could have been as many as 18. The stones are made of Silurian rock except one which is porphyry. Some stones bear natural worn cut marks and quartz veins. The 12 Apostles has 2 cursus enclosures nearby. The Hollywood South cursus is a cigar-shaped enclosure from the early Neolithic and predates the circle. It is 285 metres by 35 metres and reduces in size at the north end. This cursus is bisected by the B729 road, which runs parallel to the circle. There are over 30 of these enigmatic cursus enclosures in Scotland. Stonehenge also has these enclosures. The original function of these cursus sites, along with the stone circle, is unfortunately long lost to us. Another megalithic ring of 9 stones existed to the east about a mile away. This was destroyed for building material. Scottish archaeoastronomer Professor Alexander Thom visited the 12 Apostles in 1939 and measured what he called a Type 1 egg shape. A 4-inch high bronze figure of St Norbert was uncovered inside the ring in 1882. This figure was dated to the 1100s AD. White quartz has also been found in the circle. The ring may have been used by the Druids. The close-by Holywood village could be referring to Holywood, which may have been a sacred grove area or part of a Druidic complex. Perhaps the Druids took on the much earlier stone circle for their own use. Stories from the 1800s AD connect the circle with the 12 Apostles of Christ and the 12 stone representing Judas Iscariot. The Neolithic rings were created circa 3,000 years before Christianity. The beautiful Dumfries Galloway countryside is home to some fantastic stone circles such as Torhouse, Glen, Quicken and the Loupin stains and Girdle stains. The 12 Apostles is reminiscent of the large open ring of Long Meg and her daughters just over the border in Cumbria. The site is very open and difficult to photograph and film. It appears very sparse of stones due to its size and missing boulders. The 12 Apostles is a must-visit site for any level of megalithomaniac, curious tourist or a local person exploring their own area. The 12 Apostles is located just north of Dumfries at Newbridge. Although the site is the biggest circle in Scotland, it is not signposted. From the A76 road, take the turn off for the B729 and the circle is on your left hand side. Public access is granted. Highbanks Farm rock art site near Kirkcudbright. Highbanks Farm holds probably the best ancient rock art site in Dumfries Galloway. Our ancestors from deep antiquity carefully carved this exposed rock outcrop with enigmatic petroglyphs from between 4000 BC to 2000 BC. The 30 metre long outcrop is saturated with enigmatic motifs. The main feature on the outcrop is a cup and ring design which is totally surrounded by cup marks. These circular depressions are sometimes found at stone circles and standing stones. The purpose of these glyphs are long lost to us, but must have been very important to our ancient ancestors. The intricate patterns at Highbanks Farm are common throughout Scotland. The Comartin area of Argyll and Bute is rich with these ancient abstract designs, as is the Ballochmyle site in Ayrshire. Highbanks Farm is off the A711 road south of the artist's town of Kirkcudbright. Public access is granted to the rock art site, which is a short walk from the farm. The Cairn Holy Chambered Cairns near Creetown. Cairn Holy 1. Cairn Holy 1 is the most iconic prehistoric site in Dumfries Galloway. A second site known as Cairn Holy 2 is a 150 metre walk up the farm track. Cairn Holy 1 is the more elaborate and better known of the two sites. This megalithic construct was carefully located on a sloping hill high above Wigton Bay, with the Isle of Man visible on a clear day. The landscape around Cairn Holy is rich in prehistoric relics which have endured, sometimes completely intact, from deep antiquity. Our ancient ancestors found this area very important. Cairn Holy 1 is known as a Clyde cairn design type found in southwest Scotland. 8 standing stones make up a curved facade, which is the main feature. An aerial view of the site is reminiscent of a bird with the upright stones resembling the wings, the body being the inner chambers, and the recumbent forecourt stone being the head. Cairn Holy 1 is considered to be over 5,000 years old. What we see today is a skeleton of what once was. Originally the site extended past the modern wall and car park to 45 metres by 10 metres wide. The material that made up the cairn mass would have been used for building material and field walls. Sparse remnants of this cairn can still be seen. There are 2 chambers here. The inner compartment was constructed as a closed box. This was lightly covered by a capstone. The outer chamber was accessed through the thin facade. Inside the cairn, 2 slabs that made up the burial chamber have rock art. The 2 chambers are orientated roughly east-west, which may suggest a spring and autumn equinox function. This is the day where night and day are of equal balance. This key time of the year was likely very important to our ancient ancestors. Terence Powell and Stuart Piggott, both archaeologists, excavated the site in 1949. A very interesting find was part of a green jadeite ceremonial axe. This was found in the outer chamber. Even more interesting was the axe came from the European Alps. Other finds during the excavation were pitch stone from the Isle of Arran, a stone hole, a leaf-shaped arrowhead, a flint knife, pottery and 6 fires with hearths. The acidic soil has dissolved nearly all the bone long before the 1949 excavation. The National Museum of Edinburgh holds a rock-carved spiral design from Cairn Holy 1. No doubt Cairn Holy 1 holds many secrets waiting to be discovered. Cairn Holy 2. The Cairn Holy 2 site is one of the best prehistoric sites in southwest Scotland. Like Cairn Holy 1, the site was carefully placed on a rocky knoll in the beautiful Dumfries Galloway landscape. Cairn Holy 2 gets overshadowed by the iconic and elaborate Cairn Holy 1, which is a short 150 metre walk down the farm track. Here are 2 excellent prehistoric sites from circa 5 millennia ago, which we can still enjoy visiting in our present day. The vicinity around the Cairn Holy sites has many rock art locations. Cairn Holy 2, even on its own, is a must-visit historical site. Any dedicated lay hunter, megalithomaniac or curious tourist will not want to miss this site. Cairn Holy 2, along with the not too far away Torhouse stone circle, claims to be the tomb of the Scottish King Galdus. Here again we have an excellent Clyde type chambered cairn from the New Stone Age era. This design type is found in southwest Scotland. Haley Cairn in Largs is another example. These chambered cairns are also found on Europe's Atlantic coast and Ireland. The chamber of the site is aligned roughly northeast. The front portal stone is 3 metres high. The second portal is broken. These megaliths form a narrow entrance passage. You are then confronted with an upright stone that is part of a second inner chamber. This is capped by a large megalithic slab. A close look on the top of the capstone reveals modern graffiti. Archaeologists Powell and Piggott excavated in 1949. Similar finds were discovered at both the Cairn Holy sites. The antechamber or inner chamber revealed a hearth, a flint knife, shards from 5 or 6 beaker pots and a leaf-shaped arrowhead. When Cairn Holy 2's usage came to an end, the entrance was intentionally blocked off. The prehistoric people may have known this era was coming to an end, and they symbolically closed the site. The closing stone now lies fallen in a shallow V-shaped forecourt. Perhaps they hoped future generations would visit their beautifully constructed and thought out megalithic sites. While studying and researching these sites, we may find out what the Neolithic people were thinking and what was important to them. Another fascinating site close by is Quicken Stone Circle. The Cairn Holy sites are situated between Gatehouse of Fleet and Creetown on the A75 road. They are in the care of Historic Environment Scotland and clearly signposted from the road. Quicken Stone Circle near Creetown. Quicken is a beautiful and complete stone circle in southwest Scotland. The peaceful and surrounding landscape of Cairnderry Moor is rich in prehistoric sites bequeathed by our ancestors from thousands of years ago. The giant masts on Cairnderry Hill overlook the circle, which is also known as Cairnderry Moor. The 17-metre diameter ring contains 29 stones, with a single central megalith being the main feature. The number 29 may be significant of the 29.5-day synodic lunar month. The planet Saturn also has an association with this number, with a Saturn return happening every 29.5 years. The main feature at the site is the large 4-ton central megalith. This stone is made of granite and is nearly 2 metres in height. The monolith has an erect male phallic quality about it and may be symbolic of fertility. From the circle, the prominent Nokian's Hill can clearly be seen. This landscape feature was likely very important to the ancient architects in the placement of the site. The hill resembles a profile of a sleeping dragon, with its head to the left and its body being the arc of the hill. Professor Alexander Thom, the Scottish archaeoastronomer, visited and measured Quicken. He found a type A flattened circle. Another example of this design is the main site at Callanish. Both these circles have lunar numbers associated with them. The not too far away Torhouse stone circle near Wigton has common themes with Quicken. Both rings are around the same size, both appear to have a megalithic chair. Important lunar numbers are associated with the circles. Both have central features and they are of the type A flattened design. Perhaps Torhouse ring with its 19 stones may represent the 18.6 year lunar cycle, with Quicken representing the 29.5 day monthly lunar cycle. Could our ancient ancestors have been laying out a kind of megalithic landscape calendar in harmony with celestial events? Cairns near the stone circle held skeletons of an unusually large size. A kist is also located close by. Quicken is a magical historical site which has likely survived from the Neolithic or Bronze Age. This is the only site in the documentary which is on private land. The site is 2 miles east of Creetown, off the A75 road and tricky to locate. An OS map is helpful. The magnificent Cairn Holy sites are nearby, and a gem rock museum can also be found in Creetown. Torhouse stone circle near Wigton. Torhouse stone circle is a complete ring and one of the best preserved in Scotland. Our Bronze Age ancestors created the site 4,000 years ago. The ring has survived into our present day in pristine condition and is a must-visit site for the stone circle enthusiast. The ring is made up of 19 granite boulders in a 20-metre diameter. These stones rest on a slightly raised platform. Our Bronze Age ancestors intentionally flattened the southeast arc, which has the largest stone at 1.5 metres, along with a few cup marks. At the opposite side, the boulders decrease in size to about 0.6 metres and are closer together. In the north arc is a stone which appears to be a chair. An adult can comfortably sit here, but whether this was an intentional original feature is unknown. Torhouse has never been excavated, and there is a possible ring cairn in the middle which encompasses the triple central row. This could be the remains of 19th century field cairns. The circle encloses a 3-stone arrangement in the central area. This row is aligned northeast-southwest. Summer solstice sunrise occurs in the northeast direction on June the 21st, which is the day of most daylight. Winter solstice sunset happens at the southwest on December the 21st, this being the darkest day of the year. The two opposite solstices were very important to the ancient people. The central stone is the smallest boulder of the three at 0.65 metres. The two stones either side are over 1 metre high. This peculiar triple row was called King Galdus's tomb by Andrew Simpson, Minister of Kirkinninner, in 1684. This is also the case at the close by Cairn Holy Two site. Professor Alexander Thom, the Scottish archaeoastronomer, measured Torhouse and calculated the ring being a type A flattened circle. The main site at Callanish on the Isle of Lewis is another example of this pattern. The 19-stone ring is significant to the moon. This is the closest whole number to the 18.6-year lunar cycle. On the west arc is a stone which looks like it has been sliced. Perhaps this represents the 0.6. A few other well-known circles of 19 stones are Boscawen and the Merry Maidens in Cornwall. Across the road 130 metres to the northeast from the circle is another 3-stone setting. This has roughly the same orientation as the triple inner row. In December 1994, the middle boulder fell over. In July 1995, the stone was put back in its original setting. Before this re-erection, the socket was examined and found the stone sitting in a circular, shallow pit. A steep oval-sided feature was found. This may indicate a timber phase predating the boulder setting. Torhouse is located 3 miles to the west of Wigton village on the B733 road. The ring is in the care of Historic Environment Scotland. A small car park is provided beside the circle. Drumtroddan Standing Stones near Port William. Near Whithorn in the Machars area of southwest Scotland is Drumtroddan Standing Stones. Originally, our ancient ancestors erected a trilogy of magical megaliths that stood 3 metres high. In our present day, one stone still survives upright. Why these stones were erected is an enigma. They still exist from many millennia ago, and we can still enjoy visiting them. The construction of these huge stones would have been a big organisation project for our ancestors and must have been very important to them. The period of erection is unknown but is likely Neolithic or Bronze Age, making the stones around 5,000 to 4,000 years old. From the site is commanding views over the landscape, which is a common theme at megalithic sites. On my first trip to Dumtroddan in 2006, 2 megaliths were still upright. During my second visit a few years later, I was very sad to see a second stone had fallen around 2010. This was not surprising, as the megalith was leaning at an angle and the base was very thin. The remaining upright resembles a hooded figure, which is common at other standing stone sites. Our ancestors would likely have been pleasantly surprised that people from thousands of years in the future are fascinated by their sacred stones. The area around Drumtroddan is rich in sites from various historical timelines. A few examples are Girdle Neolithic Mound, Chapel Finian, Drumtroddan Moat, St Ninian's Cave, Bershalach Fort and Torhouse Stone Circle. Close by is the Drumtroddan Rock Art site, 400 metres to the northwest on the B8075 road. Public access is granted from Drumtroddan Farm. The standing stones may be contemporary and connected to the rock art. There is a second rock carving site about a mile to the east. Drumtroddan standing stones are situated 2 miles east of Port William. They are in the care of Historic Environment Scotland and signposted from the B7021 road. Drumtroddan Mound, near Darnragit village. East of Stranraer is one of the most important Neolithic sites in Scotland. In our present day, all that remains is the Drumtroddan Mound near Darnragit village. This is sandwiched between the A75 and B7077 road. The complex came to light during aerial photography taken in 1992 and revealed a Neolithic centre, which cannot be noticed at ground level. Major excavations explored the Darnragit area between 1999 and 2002. This revealed 3 concentric wooden circles from 4,500 years ago and an early Neolithic cursus. The outermost circle is 300 metres in diameter, 6 times the size of Stonehenge, and 400 metres south of the Drumtroddan Mound. At its base, the mound is 60 metres by 50 metres, oval in shape and 10 metres in height. The mound was thought to be a 12th century castle earth moat. Excavations confirmed it was created at the same time as the other close by prehistoric sites. Perhaps it functioned as a viewing platform for the Neolithic people to witness ceremonies taking place within the circles, or perhaps it served a function we don't understand in our present day. The middle circle's entrance is aligned to the mound. The 2002 excavation season focused on this. Excavation material from the Drumtroddan Mound was dated to circa 4,500 years ago by optically stimulated luminescence dating. This compares the site to Silbury Hill in England, the biggest and best known prehistoric mound in the UK. Glen Stone Circle, near Stranraer. Another hidden gem in Dumfries Galloway, nor well known as Glen Stone Circle, also known as the Standing Stones of Glen. This is a site the enthusiastic stone seeker will want to visit. This beautiful and compact 4-poster stone circle comes with an outlier stone. The site is tricky to locate and is reminiscent of the 4-poster stone circles of Perth and Kinross. The origin date of the granite stones being erected is unknown, but is likely Neolithic or Bronze Age. The site measures 3 metres by 2.5 with the highest stones in the south arc. An outlier stone is positioned 20 paces from the circle. These outlier stones are not uncommon at megalithic rings. Glen has been interpreted as the remains of a double concentric circle. From the site is vast views over the stunning Dumfries Galloway countryside. It is likely the circle was carefully placed with the landscape views in mind. Possible cosmic observations may have been witnessed from here by our ancient ancestors. Dumfries Galloway holds some excellent ancient rings like the 12 Apostles near Dumfries, which is the largest stone circle on mainland Scotland. Torhouse and Glen Quicken stone circles are excellent, pristine and complete rings. Not far from Glen is Drumtroddan Neolithic Mound at Darnragit, which was once part of a Neolithic complex. Glenluss Abbey and Castle Kennedy are also close by. Glen Stone Circle is not signposted but marked on OS maps. It is located on private land off the A75 road between Stranraer and Neolithic. It is a short diversion from the Southern Upland Way walk. Caves of Cohern, Chambered Cairn, near Neolithic. Another lesser known prehistoric gem in Dumfries Galloway is the Caves of Cohern. This is a little known chambered cairn which is located a short diversion of the Southern Upland Way walk. Our ancestors erected this site in the Neolithic era. The site is semi-remote and about a 20-minute walk from a single track road a few miles east of Neolithic. Originally there were 6 chambers. In the present day 3 of these are in a recognisable state. The easternmost chamber is the best preserved and most impressive, with the capstone still in its original position. Lots of loose cairn material can be seen lying around. The site covers an area around 35 metres by 20 metres. The Caves of Cohern is of the Bergrennen design type. These are located in the west of Dumfries Galloway and South Ayrshire. The Bergrennen type differs from other Neolithic sites in western Scotland. Each example has a round cairn with one or multiple passage chambers. A few other examples in the area is White Cairn outside Glentrool village and Cairnderry close to Bar Hill. The chambered cairn is much disturbed and obliterated, however a few of the chambers remain in good condition. This is a site for the enthusiastic ancient site seeker, and you will be rewarded with pleasant Dumfries Galloway countryside in a very peaceful setting. Caves of Cohern is situated a few miles east of the small village of Neolithic. The site is marked on OS maps. There is a small signpost from the Southern Upland Way walk which is very easy to miss. A few other places of interest close by are Standing Stones of Glenterrow, Drumtroddan Neolithic Moat, Glenluss Abbey and Castle Kennedy. Borland Chambered Cairn near Newton Stewart. Borland Chambered Cairn is a rarely visited site, nor very well known. However, the keen ancient history enthusiast will be glad to have a visit. The cairn is around 2 metres tall by roughly 25 metres long. By 1882, the destruction of the cairn had stopped. A small urn was found at the east end, which had been burnt jet black. Borland is a possible horned long cairn, which survives from circa 5,000 years ago. It may also have been from the Clyde type design like Cairn Holy. It is just one of many fascinating prehistoric sites in southwest Scotland. Two prominent megaliths appear to be the main feature at the front of the cairn. They are 4.5 metres apart and orientated southeast. Behind these two stones may have been a chamber, but no trace survives. Bowling Cairn can be found in Knockman Wood, which is part of Galloway Forest Park. Knockman translates as Hill of the Woman and may have some significance as to why our ancient ancestors placed a cairn here. A hut circle from 2 millennia ago and a 500-year-old farmstead are also close by. The cairn is situated in an area rich in prehistoric remains left behind from many millennia ago. This includes the thieves' standing stones, cairns, a stone circle and a rocking stone. Bowling Cairn is just north of Newton Stewart. A 20-minute walk from the car park on the Red Trail will bring you to the Chambered Cairn. White Cairn Chambered Tomb near Glentrail village. White Cairn is a hidden gem in Dumfries Galloway. Finds at the site go back to the late Mesolithic 6,000 years ago. The chambered tomb was constructed circa 3000 BC and is thought to be for rituals and communal burial. The site is what archaeologists call a Bargrennan tomb. The site is a heavily depleted chambered round cairn with a diameter of nearly 18 metres. The site consists of an entrance passage aligned south-southeast and a central chamber covered by megalithic capstones. In 1949, White Cairn was excavated by Powell and Piggott. Further excavations took place during August-September 2004 and August-September 2005. A 2016 laser scan also took place. Archaeologists found fragments of pottery from the late Neolithic inside the chamber, along with a cremation from the Bronze Age, which was likely from 1 millennia after the site was created. This still image shows pieces of a broken and burnt stone polished axe, which was found here. Piggott and Powell examined the passage and uncovered paving slabs. Around the edge and underneath the cairn was a lithic assemblage which contained fragments from the late Mesolithic era. A large cordoned urn along with cremated bone was found inside a kist to the west of the passage. A further ceramic vessel was found to the east of the cairn. Inside the capped chamber is scratch mark designs which may be ancient. Modern graffiti is also prominent. At the very back bottom left hand side is what looks like a large cup mark but is likely natural. The cairn has public access and is signposted from Glentrail village, which is situated between Newton Stewart and Barhill, just off the A714 road. The tomb is a half-mile or 10-minute walk on the White Cairn Trail inside the forestry plantation. Cairnderry Chambered Cairn near Barhill. Cairnderry is part of the Bargrennan group of chambered cairns found in southwest Scotland. The site is not well known and overlooked by the other fabulous and better known prehistoric sites in Dumfries and Galloway. Not much was known about the Bargrennan sites until excavations took place between 2002 and 2004 by Manchester and Cardiff universities. Inside the cairn is 3 rectangular chambers. In our present day, one chamber is still in decent condition. Cairnderry has in the past been severely depleted. It has been recorded in its present state since 1896 AD. In its present form, it has also been reduced in height. Its original diameter would have been 24 metres. Excavations found an early Neolithic pot and flint assemblage and unexpected evidence of early Bronze Age reuse. Pitchstone from the Isle of Arran was also uncovered. A deep cup mark can also be seen inside the chamber. This is also the case at the nearby White Cairn. A collection of 4 cremation pits were found round the kerb. Contained in all the pits were cremated human bone and charcoal. Pit 3 contained bone from a 5-year-old child. One pit contained fantastic grave goods like an early Bronze Age battle axe head and an upturned collar dun with an accessory vessel. Radiocarbon dates from the cremated bone, along with the objects found our ancestors were using the site between 3,900 to 3,600 years ago for funerary practices. Cairnderry is very easy to miss while driving by. The site is signposted and situated just inside the Dumfries Galloway border on the A714 road. The site is closer to the small village of Barhill in Ayrshire. Another Neolithic chambered cairn nearby is White Cairn, just outside Glen. Before Caledonia is a historical project which explores Scotland's ancient sites. Please support my work with a one-off donation through PayPal or a monthly option through Patreon in the links below. Thanks to my current Patreons and previous donators. Before Caledonia is also on Facebook. Please share, leave a comment. Thanks for watching, and a huge thanks to our ancient ancestors.